Okay, we getting there. There we go. All right. Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to another Monday Momentum. I'm here, Dr. Dar, with you to share a good word to start your week off right. Today, we're going to talk about taking a couple moments for gratitude and appreciation. So, listen, one of the things that I think that we need to think about in this season is to be thankful for all the people who played a huge role in us just being here. And I'm going to switch up my mic here. There we go. Sometimes we don't appreciate enough how much things are not changing. Sometimes we don't appreciate enough how much we have just stability. Sometimes we don't appreciate enough just having a sound mind, a working body. I'm gonna be honest, this has been a real season for me. It's been very hard. I'm not gonna lie. This year has been a lot of life changes. Partnerships ended, long time partnerships ended. Some new partnerships started, and so had to do some training, had to kind of go back to the drawing board, got some training on how to be a better speaker, connected with communities that I was new at connecting with, working with communities that I was new at working with. And so I had to make a lot of changes, and that's not a bad thing. Actually, I think that's a good thing. Because sometimes we don't realize how important it is to be okay with change, to be okay that change is happening. Yeah, I think it's important for us to think about how do we manufacture our own happiness. And I think a part of that is by taking a attitude of gratitude. And so, have you ever heard the saying, your attitude determines your altitude? I think that's very similar to this situation. We are oftentimes in a place where we are so focused on what's going wrong that we don't appreciate what's going right. I even think about the work that I do with students, the work I do with professionals about their leadership. And I'll do an assessment. And the funny thing is, I'll give this is something that happens with multiple people. I've worked with government agency employees. I've worked with lawyers. I've worked with doctors. I've worked with medical professionals. I've worked with nonprofit leaders. And one of the things that I notice strongly when I do assessments with people is that they always notice the things that they do the worst. So it's they can have 9, 10 things that they rated very, very high, but they'll focus on the 3 or 4 things, maybe even 1 or 2 things that they don't do well. And unfortunately, we live in a society where weakness is over over studied. The things that we are not great at, the things that we are honestly oftentimes deficit, we're not as natural at. We spend so much energy focusing in on that we don't even think about how do we embellish the things that we're great at. How do we create more time for the things that we're more natural at? How do we create more space for the things that we feel like flows where it feels like hours went by and it's only been minutes. That's a part of this journey of becoming. It's literally understanding what you're great at. And so if you are not in a place where you believe that you have greatness in you, then of course it's really easy for you to focus in on your weaknesses. But I'm here to tell you that it's something in you that people love. It's something in you that people appreciate. It's something in you that people are super happy about. And that's the thing that I want you to lean into. That's the thing I want you to lean into, not only in this holiday season, but also in this season of life. One of the things that I can tell you is that, like, I've been struggling with my depression. I've been struggling with my grief. I've been struggling with my anxiety this year. And what has brought me back is not my weaknesses. What has helped me find flow are not my deficits. What has helped me find flow is when I get in front of a crowd of people and I'm teaching, when I get on the stage, right, and I'm speaking, when I get in front of the classroom, when I'm able to be called upon for my gift. It's not the things that I'm not doing well. It's not my lack of organization, right? It's not my lack of attention to detail. Honestly, like, I can do those things. It just takes me more energy. And so I prefer to be in spaces and conversations and opportunities that I can really open up and use my gift, because that's the thing that makes me happy. And so for you, what I want you to think about is, like, what is your gift? And so there's a talent, there's a skill, and there's a gift, right? And so Dr. Darius Daniels talks about this, and he talks about this, like, in a way of saying, like, your talent is the thing that you're just born with, the thing that you're good at, the thing that, like, again, hours go by and it feels like minutes, right? It's something that you don't really need to practice well. So, like, for me, I don't need to necessarily practice learning how to talk to people. Like, I am that type of person that I'm just very charismatic. People find me, people are attracted to my energy. But I do need to take a lot more energy to be organized, to pay attention to detail, whereas some people do that very naturally. Again, then you have skills. So these are the things that you work on. These are the things that you do to, like, you spend hours developing that capacity. You become competent, right, in it. Like, they talk about Steph Curry, and he talks about how Steph Curry didn't practice until he made it. He practiced until he couldn't miss. That's skill, right? None of us can just jump on a basketball court and shoot until we literally don't miss. Like, we don't have that skill set. Many of us don't, right? But then we have gifts. And one of the things that, how you know it's a gift, is it's not for you. It's for your community. It's for your family. It's for your friends. It's for the people who follow you, the people who depend on you, the people who love you, want to see you be great. Your gift is for them. And so when we are not feeling appreciation, we are not feeling gratitude, oftentimes I think it's because we are not operating within our gift, or we're using our gift for our gain and not the gain of the community. And so the beauty of when I'm working through my grief, when I'm working through my depression, when I'm working through my sadness, when I'm working through my anxiety, my frustration, getting on a stage, getting in front of students, getting in front of a classroom changes me. It changes my attitude. It changes my appreciation on life. It shows me something. It teaches me something. Every time I speak and somebody shares an experience with me, whether it's afterwards or during, I gain something. I gain insight, right? Today, I just had an opportunity to listen to 7 of my students' presentations for their final presentation in class on leadership. And when I tell you, like, my gift has helped them see their gifts, has created more confidence in them. And it is all about helping them see their strengths. Most of them said the biggest takeaway from their class was that they realized that they were strong at certain things, and that even if they didn't believe in assessments, they didn't have the words to articulate the things that they're great at until after this class. And so as me as a maximizer, not only am I thankful that I get a chance to be able to serve in this way, I'm thankful that so many students, like, believe in themselves more because of my gift, right? And so I just want to make sure, right? Like I want to make sure that y'all catch that. Like sometimes we are operating in our own stress. We don't see the things that we can appreciate that are around us. But I need you to know that once you really start locking in on the thing that you're great at, and so if you need some help with finding the thing that you're great at, you should be reaching out to me. Shoot me a DM, right? Put a comment in the chat and on this post so that we can connect, right? Send me your email so that we can connect. Because the reason why people love you, the reason why people care about you, the reason why people want to be around you are your strengths. And so I want to take a minute to just show my appreciation, right, for all the people who have supported me on this journey, right? So I'm just starting with my family. We always got to start with well, first, I want to thank the Most High for just the opportunity to serve, right? Many times when we don't think that things are going our way, but what we don't realize is that sometimes the Most High is creating a path for you. That's why we're going through the hardship. It's so that you can level that ground, so that you can put hot pavement down, so that it's an easy ride once you get on the road and fully get going at your full speed. Right? Like what I'm learning is that this is just not, it's a test for your testimony. Because what we all love is a person who overcame something. And so when I'm telling you, I'm not telling you that I deal with depression or dealt with grief or anxiety to like make you sad. I'm telling you this to let you know that like I'm working through it, and that is the blessing. Sometimes the blessing is just not being stuck. Sometimes the blessing is not being in a place where you don't feel like there's no movement, there's no growth, there's no development. Like I'm so thankful that even though I'm having these emotional spaces in my mind, that it's not stopping me from serving you in these mediums. Sometimes you just got to be thankful for that. Right? And so I'm grateful for that. And so that, like I say that to say like you gotta celebrate the small wins. Like today, I'm here with you, just sharing a good word. Like that's a small win. Even though like I could be relaxing. I had a long day. Like, right, like I worked all day. I came here and I'm really spending this time with you. That's a small win because I told myself I wanted to be consistent on YouTube. I wanted to be as consistent on doing Instagram lives. I wanted to be consistent in serving you, right? And being there for you. And so this is my way to say that I'm congruent with what I believe people need from me, is a space where they can actually have opportunity to grow, right? Celebrate the small wins. What that could look like for you is you woke up today, right? You went to school, you went to class, you did your work, you were present, you had a good lunch, you had a good meal, you ate dinner, you got a chance to see a parent or a sibling or another family member, right? Like small stuff. Because I'm willing to bet that there's probably somebody out there who's willing and would love to switch places with you. As the holiday season comes up, what we oftentimes think about is being with our family, but there are people out there who literally cannot. And so for you, as you think about like how you appreciate what's happening next in your world, how you appreciate what's happening next in the life, in your life, how you understand that it is an opportunity for you to be grateful that you just got another hug from a parent. You got another high five, or you got another I believe in you from a family member, from a sibling, from a friend, from a colleague, from a peer. Right? We are all in this space of life for a reason. Sometimes I'm just thankful that I have purpose in it. Like I remember being lost, smoking and drinking every day, right? Playing video games all day. After work, never did nothing else but play video games. I didn't have no purpose. And I think for many of you, you might feel like, just because I'm not doing something exponentially big that's changing and impacting thousands and millions of lives, that you feel like you might not have purpose. But there's a process and purpose. And it doesn't start with impacting millions of lives. It starts with just impacting one. If you can just change one life, you can change 2 lives. If you start changing 2 lives, you can change 4 lives. If you can change 4 lives, you can change 8 lives. And it just becomes a part of the work you do. And I'm thankful for that because like I can say now after teaching 5 years full time that I have impacted thousands of lives. Right? So there's purpose in my work, but what I can tell you is that I didn't know in 2016 that I was going to be starting a full-time a business. I didn't know that I was going to become a full-time real professional speaker. I just knew that I had some words that I wanted to share with people and that people felt inspired when I talked because I wasn't afraid to tell them about my life experiences. And so one of the things that I can tell you now that I even look back on that is like there is an amazing learning opportunity that can come out of just literally sharing our life experiences. Like coming from the home that I came from, right? My parents are divorced. My biological father was missing in my life because of his extracurriculars with alcohol and drugs, right? Like my brother was murdered. I was 13, he was 15. Had another sister overdose, had another brother murdered, right? Like these things happen to us, but oftentimes when you have gratitude, when you have an appreciation for life, what you know is that didn't happen just to you, it happened for you. And so what are you supposed to learn? One of the things that my students talked about today in class was you can reflect without increasing your self-awareness. That was deep. Like she was like, there's times in which that I think deeply about what's going on in my life, but then I don't take the time to say, how do I grow from that? That's powerful. And so just the ability to reflect and grow should be something that you have appreciation for. Something that you should be thankful and have gratitude for. And so I want to make sure that you know that. Right? The last thing I'm going to talk about, sometimes no news is good news. Like sometimes no news is good news. Like, have you ever been in a situation where it's like, oh my God, like if I could have not heard that today. I could have not got that news today. This is an example that sometimes we are in a place where we are so eager to have something happen, but we're not ready for what that really could be. Like we so eager for our lives to change, but sometimes it takes something devastating for us to change. And so in a day like today, where all I did was I woke up, got a chance to, wake my son, get him dressed and ready for his day. Nothing wild happened. I went to work, I did some grading, got picked up for my family, everybody was good. That's great, right? like today my son woke up with less of a heavy cough than what he had yesterday. Amazing, right? I'm thankful. You should think about just the small wins. Like for a toddler who's 3 years old to not have a deep cough is everything for a parent going into the holiday, right? Like, let's just be real. sometimes no news is good news. And so I can never appreciate when I do highlight shoutouts announcements, I do check-ins with my students, and they don't have nothing to say. I'm like, great, amazing. They're like, what you mean? Like nobody said nothing. I'm like, sometimes no news is good news. And so I hope that you gain something from this, right? I hope that you learn something from this live. Again, if you want to check out more of this live, it'll be posted on YouTube. I will be doing these again every Monday. Motivational Monday. Oh, not motivational. Somebody send me that, right? I'm sorry. Momentum Monday. Monday Momentum. I'll be here every Monday at 7 o'clock Eastern time to share a good word with you to help you start your week off right. I'm really excited to continue learning, growing, and developing with you. If you haven't subscribed to the YouTube, go ahead and do that. If you want to watch this whole video, go ahead over to YouTube at Dr. Dar Mayweather. You can check my channel out. You can see all the different videos that we have posted. We post every week a new video to help you inspire your leadership, to understand that you are amazing, to understand that you have all that you need, and of course that you're going to be massively successful because you're confident. All right. Appreciate you all. Have a happy Thanksgiving. Peace.